Hi YouTube, my name's Orlando. I had a little project I worked on 2 days ago, and it was really fun, and I wanted to show it off. So here's the video. It's a 2012 Nissan LEAF. I buy and sell cars for a living. I own a little car lot on Platte, and in Colorado Springs. And one of the trucks I bought for the lot, the guy had this inverter in there, so I took it out. I sold the truck, and I've had the inverter for like a month or so. And I've always been looking at on video YouTube for V2G or vehicle to grid or V2H, vehicle to home technologies, and they don't have it here in the States yet. I don't know why. It's a really cool technology. I hope they bring it one day. It's where you can plug in for the CHAdeMO from the CHAdeMO connector to your house, and you can use the LEAF's battery as a backup. And I also researched, I saw this guy, he did something similar, but he didn't put it in the back. I don't know if it was YouTube or where it was. He had this little, he made a metal aluminum plate here, put a nice LEAF emblem here, a Nissan emblem here, and then he had some cables up to here, some wiring up to here. And then when he needed power, he'd pop the hood and he'd place a 1,000 watt. I don't remember what the wattage was, but he'd place an inverter here and he'd use it. It was pretty cool, but it wasn't permanent. You'd have to take it off and put it back and just put it here. So anyway, I decided to install mine as like an amplifier. I'm not going to go through all the details, but it just basically, I ran a 0 gauge wire through the firewall. I don't know if you can see it there. And I used this plate, the battery tray. I used it to hold the fuse holder. I took it all out, put some screws in the fuse holder, grinded the back part of the screws so I wouldn't mess up the battery. I lost one of my, this is supposed to be a hex screw here, and it's supposed to be flush, and then a little cover goes on the top of here. But I lost the screw, and I took all the plastic trays underneath the car out. I did everything. I couldn't find the little screw, so I had to go buy that screw at Home Depot. This one, same thread. I have to grind it down to put the cover on, or I got to find the proper hex screw with the same thread. But I don't know. I'll do that later. No big deal. And just so you know, it goes through the firewall just like an amplifier. Comes through here, and the wiring, it fits. It's pretty tight because it's a very thick wire. I could have done this with a 4 gauge, but I wanted a little overkill. Goes through here, then goes through here. All this paneling has to come out, but it's easy. It's just clips. Just be careful when you take them out if you're going to do something like this, that you don't break the plastic. But it's not hard. And then it goes up through here, down in there, and then comes out to here. I left it a little long because the Sunforce Pro Series 1,000 watt continuous inverter doesn't have mounting brackets or anything. So, and I'm not really sure where I'm gonna put it, so I left a little bit of extra wiring just in case I'm gonna move it somewhere else. I'm not sure. Planning on maybe making a wood little housing for it, for that and for the charge cord. And then I could just throw stuff on it, even though I do throw stuff on it right now. And I have another toolbox that I left yesterday at the this is always full. And I just throw stuff on it. It's fine right there for now until I figure out what I'm going to do. The ground I got from that hook right there, the hook for the charge cord, has 2 screws. And it's really easy. Just take this little thing out right here when you're doing it. And there's 2 screws right here, and I grounded it. I'm going to grind the paint off the screws later and get it and get a better ground, even though it's a good ground, but I'm going to get a better ground. Okay, so I just wanted to show it off. I tested it. I made another video. I put it on YouTube, but I don't know if it's my phone or what the hell. I'm not a good, I don't know how to do this stuff real good. I don't know how to edit it or anything. And it's showing like there's a lag between the voice, when I talk and the actual video, so it's kind of weird. It's like a Japanese movie or something. I move my mouth and then I talk. But anyway, let's hopefully this one will come out good. Okay, so the car has to be on. Here it goes. I bought this Leaf dirt cheap at the auction, and I think I'm keeping this one because the battery is really, really good. Even though the miles are real high, but I don't care about the miles. I do care about the battery. And so it should last me a long time, because in Colorado it's pretty cool. It's like 40 degrees right now, and it's May the 9th. So we should be good. Anyway, so I like this one. I think I'm keeping this one. I bought it real super cheap, and I think I'm not gonna sell it. Okay, so I also saw another video. This guy, he tore a whole Leaf apart. He had the battery in his house, and the DC to DC inverter puts out about 75 amps. That's per the video, as per the video that I saw. So going by that, after he could do more than 75 amps from the DC to DC. He didn't have the battery connected, but it would start humming. So it probably does 80, 90, maybe 100 amps, but it's probably pushing it. So it was a coincidence that I got this free inverter. It actually worked out great because it's 1,000 watts continuous, and that's about what I can get from my DC to DC. So it's matched up pretty good. What else? I went extra heavy with the wiring, just in case. I used to have a car stereo business that I ran for about 17 years. And what people don't know when they criticize, in my case it was amplifiers, but in this case it might be inverters. It's the same thing. If you want the output, you need to have the input. And if you have, I read some reviews, and some people were complaining about it, saying that it would only put out like 500 watts. Another guy said it only put out 300 watts. So I thought, well, it's either a piece of junk or they're using thin wiring, because like I said, I used to do this for a living for a long time. And the way you have to look at it is, if you want to put out, let's just imagine it's water, okay? If you want to put out a ton of water, a big stream of water, a lot of wattage, you need a big intake. You need a big straw, okay? You can't have a really thin straw and try to suck out a ton of water or whatever. That's just my analysis, my way of putting it. To come out, it must come in first. And if you have a 10 gauge wire, a 12 gauge wire, and you lose, there's resistance in the wire. So the longer it is, the worse it is. So I got about, 15 feet of wire from front to back. And you lose, I don't remember the formula. This was a long time ago when I used to do that. But you lose, per foot, you lose, there's a lot of resistance. So if you have a bigger wire, 4 gauge would have been enough for this. But anything smaller than 4 gauge, 8 gauge, 10 gauge, 12 gauge is ridiculous, and your inverter is just going to trip. It's going to overload. It's not really going to overload. It can't suck through that thin straw. So anyway, those reviews that I saw, I'm not saying this is a great inverter. I don't know, and I don't care. I mean, it was free. It's a pure sine wave, supposedly. I opened it up. These heat sinks are plastic. They're fake, but it does have them inside. And it is pretty solid inside. So I don't know. I'm not saying it's a great inverter or a bad inverter. I'm just saying it does put out the wattage it says it does, because I already tried it. But you can't. You need to install it right. You need good ground and good power wire. And it has to be pretty heavy wire. You can't go with thin wire. Anyway, I brought some stuff here real quick. And we're gonna test all these things, okay? First, I'm gonna tie my little. Let's turn it on real quick. There you go. Okay, then I'm gonna put my little kilowatt meter. It's kind of dark back here. That's why I had to come and turn my little light on. Okay, let's put my little kilowatt meter on there. Plug it in. Hold on. Okay, 122 watts. And let's go to, to output wattage. Let's take this toolbox out of here. Okay, so first I'm going to get this little fan. This should be easy. but let's just try it just to goof off. Okay, turn it on. Hold on. Okay, got the little fan on, blowing. You can hear it. But it's blowing pretty good. And we are pulling about 42 watts. Okay, so that's a piece of cake. Can't hear the inverter, the fan's not on or anything. Okay, let's take this off real quick. Now, I'm gonna make it a little harder. I'm gonna make some coffee. Okay, and you guys probably know that anything that makes heat uses a lot of wattage. Hair dryers, heaters, coffee makers, toasters, all that stuff. Okay, so now we're going to make some coffee. See what we can. Okay, just turned it on. Nice coffee in there. Bustelo. Really good coffee. Okay. And we're pulling about 680 watts. 682, about 680 average. And fan's not on yet. Everything seems to be okay. I don't know if you can hear it, it's already starting to brew. Oh, there it is. Okay, so I'm going to pause this real quick. So I'm going to make this whole coffee thing. I'm not going to sit here making you guys wait for the coffee to be done. It's going to be about, I don't know, 5 minutes or so. And when it's done, I'll come back and we're going to try this heater. Here, this is an oil-cooled heater, electric heater. And I tried it on the wall. And it pulls about 1400 watts on the high setting. We're going to try on low, medium, and high, see what happens. And I don't think I'll get to be able to do the high, but I'm hoping I can do the low and the medium. Okay, see you guys in a minute. Okay, while I keep waiting for my coffee to be made, I forgot to mention one thing. When I install the inverter, I opened up the casing. I was going to drill some holes and mount it, because it doesn't have the mounting tabs, but I was going to mount it anyway. And when I installed it, I took all this out. I took all the plastic out of the bottom of the car, the trim that protects the, from debris and stuff like that, and makes it a little more aerodynamic. And you can mount an inverter or an amplifier for that whatever you want, you can mount here. Because there's no battery underneath that, so you're not going to harm the car or anything. There is a little bit of tubes and some cables and some stuff, but it's not a lot. And as long as you're careful, you can drill a hole and mount it to the metal. All there is a metal sheet, and then the bottom underneath the car. So it's doable. So anyway, I'll be right back. And that beep you hear, by the way, it's one of those keys. I got some keys in there from the car lot. And the guy has a Viper. It's not my inverter making the beep. I got I bought a truck with a Viper alarm, and it's driving me crazy, that beep. But anyway, that's it. I'll be right back as soon as my coffee's ready. I'm not going to stop it because I need to drink my coffee. Okay, guys, I'm going to stop my coffee making. I don't know what I did, but I'm spilling it on the side here. I made a mess, but anyway, I made some coffee, but I'm going to quit because I don't want to fill the back of my Leaf with coffee. So I'm going to stop this video, take this coffee maker out of here real quick, and finish it inside. Okay, see you in a bit. Okay, I'm back. Had to take that coffee maker back because I was making a mess. And let's try this heater now. Last test. Let me see. Let's make sure it's on off. Let's plug it in. Okay, here we go. Oh, I have a little, I'd like to try this first. Okay, so we have 54 degrees is what this is measuring right now. So it's off. And let's turn it on, see what happens. Okay. If it's on low, these things take a little while to heat up. And once they heat up, they stay warm for a while. They're pretty cool. Try not to use them because they use too much electric. I'd rather use my fireplace or my house heater. Anyway, it's pulling about 622 watts, or 29 watts, or something like that. 620 something watts. Let me try this without the flashlight, see if we can see it better. Nope, can't see it better. Okay, well, let me turn that flashlight back on. Okay, so we know we could stay on the low setting. Fan's still not on. So we're good to go. Now let's go a little hotter. Let's go a little higher on the setting. Okay, fan just turned on. And we are pulling 880 something watts, or 890 something watts. Okay, I did this test already once. Let me turn this off so I can face it to my face. Hold on. Okay, I did this already in my previous video, the one that was messed up, like the voice was separate than the video, whatever. And it was a little warmer. It was like in the 60s. It was yesterday. And it was pulling like 920, 930 watts. So I guess it depends on the temperature or something. I'm not sure. But we're going to leave it like that for like 2 minutes. And then we're going to try on the high setting. Okay? I'm going to tell you right now, it's not going to work on the high setting. I think it's like 1500 watts or 1400 watts. But we're going to try anyway. See what happens. Okay? So I'll be right back. I'm going to turn the flashlight back on. Oh, how do I turn this on? Here you go. Okay. So, let's see what it's pulling now. 880 something watts. So we know we can do 880 something watts. Okay? Like I said, I tried it yesterday and it was in the 900s. But I guess it depends. I don't know what it depends on. Okay, we're up to 90 degrees. 110 degrees. Okay, and it will get hotter. But for now, anywhere from a maximum heat right now is 111 is what I measured. So it'll get warmer and warmer, and I have it on the maximum thermostat. This is basically just a thermostat, makes it cut off, but this is what really pulls the wattage. Okay, this is just so it shuts off at certain heat. Now we're going to try high. And I'm going to tell you right now, I tried it already, it's not going to work. So I'm going to turn it on. You're going to hear the overload protection from my inverter. And then we are going to turn it back off, so I don't want to have it cutting off. Here we go, ready? You just hear it over here. Ready? Here it goes. Okay, you heard that? That means it was too much for it. And I turned it back to medium. I can turn it all the way on and it'll just cut off. Let's try that. Let's see what happens. Here it goes. And let's see if it changes in the wattage. Nope, it just died. It didn't even show the increase in wattage. Last time I did it, it went up to like 1200 or something. But it only showed for like half a second, so I couldn't really see what it did. Let me put it back on low. Take this off real quick. It says that, whatever that means, OOL, so overload or something like that. I don't know what that means. And then turn it off. Maybe I should do this first. Turn it back on. Okay, we're back online. We have 120 watts. Plug it back in. Okay. We got the heater back on again, on low. Pulling, oh, I don't have it wattage. 629 watts. And now we are going to go medium again. Fans back on. And we're pulling 890 watts. About 890 watts. And last but not least, let me check this again. Yeah, it'll get a little hotter, but my maximum is 121 watts Fahrenheit. So it went from 50 to 121. So basically, that's the end of my test. Let me turn this flashlight off again. Hold on. That's the end of my test. You can basically power up to 1,000 watts or close to 1,000 watts. Like I said, I tried yesterday and it was 1,000. Oh, there you go. Oh, by the way, look at my electric lawnmower, electric trimmer, electric everything except this gas guzzler behind me, but had to please the wife. Anyway, yeah, you can power about 1,000 watts continuous for as long as you have battery. I did some crazy math. It should be about 17 hours if the battery's full. It's a 24 kilowatt battery. Let's say you got 20 kilowatt usable or 21 kilowatt usable. Then you have a loss from the DC to DC inverter or converter. I always get those words confused. Then you have a little bit of loss in the wire, which you shouldn't have a lot, not with this wire. Then you have a little bit of loss with the inverter, from DC to 110 to AC, and the car has to be on. So you have the 12 volt accessories on. So you're probably wasting, I don't know, probably 100 watts an hour just having the car on. So if you do, it's crazy math, you can probably get 16, 17 hours full-time 1,000 watts out of it. And you're not going to be full-time 1,000 watts all the time. So in an emergency or a power outage or camping or something like that, you can probably do, you can probably get days, a couple days, because you're only going to use this when you need it. You're not going to be brewing coffee all day or whatever. So TVs, you can probably do that fridge, which by the way I should try, but I don't think the extension will reach. That'd be a good test. Yeah, I'll do that later. It won't reach the car, but you can probably do a fridge, a half decent sized fridge. You probably won't have problems with the surge because it's as long as you don't surge it for over 2 seconds, it won't shut off. And what else? TVs, laptops, all that stuff. So it's not a vehicle to grid, which would be awesome, power my whole house, but it is pretty cool. And as long as the car's on, you can just run it and run it and run it and run it and for hours and hours and hours. In an emergency, I can probably go a couple days. At least turn on my fireplace if it's cold. The fan for the fireplace. And I also have this other thing I'm going to do for my heater downstairs. I haven't done it yet. It's a project. And that's it. You can power almost anything, or anything under 1,000 watts continuous. So just wanted to show it off. My heater's pretty warm now. I'm gonna show you guys. Hold on. Let me grab my. It's doing pretty good. Yeah, you got a maximum of 150 something, and it will get warmer. So. Yeah, so I got a maximum of 156, and it'll get warmer. And this thing is pretty cool. I mean, I don't like it. I don't like to use it because it's an electric hog, but it will power. I mean, it will heat a whole room, a decent sized room. Like my living room, or it takes a while, but it'll heat the whole room, or or a decent sized room. So anyway, that's it. I'm done. Hold on, let me done with my little contraption here. Really happy. Every once in a while I do some little projects. I did a solar heater the other day, about a couple months ago. A solar air heater installed in the window. Is really cool. And I'll try to do more, and I'll try to show them if I do more. I don't know. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.